Hello everybody and welcome to the fourth weekly LSU Photosoc Creative Distancing stream. It's been a month already, which is a little bit mad. We are joined again by me, Tom. Hello, I'm the chair of LSU Photosoc, and also Sam.
Hi, I'm back.
Who's a tad quiet, but I can improve that imminently.
I'm also a bit overlit on this side, so apologies, but the sun's not playing ball today.
Yeah, I know, I've had to draw all of my blinds and add a whole load of lights and things. I've been using the Society equipment to its maximum for today. So,
You've got the benefit of that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's the one benefit. Yeah, having to store all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So, today, because it is still Easter, it's Easter Monday, we are going to be doing some chocolate photography, right? Which is going to be interesting because I've never done it before, and I'm hoping that I've got my chocolate in the kitchen, still hopefully warm, so I'm going to have to go and check that in a minute. Sam's got his there, we go.
Yeah, we're ready.
Perfect.
Should be good. It's hard not to eat it. Much difficult.
Actually, that's very true. I've got some mini eggs here that we're going to use a little bit later, I think, to maybe smash them up with a hammer or something. So the plan for today, we're going to have a little bit of an intro video like weeks 1 and 2, where we go through some of the photos that we took to set up today, and then we're going to do some live photography for about an hour. Then we are going to swap to some photo editing, and we're going to have a little bit of competition to see how well we do against each other. Now, we did a little bit of competitive editing last week, and when we get to the editing section, I will bring up the results of the vote on that, because it was quite interesting why people chose what they did. And honestly,
are you going for a photo that does well in a vote, or a photo that you just think is the best photo? And there's a different thing. But...
So what you're saying is we should be going for the moral victory.
Well, you can't trust our voters, I guess.
Apparently not. You know, I'm like, depends what trusting your voters is. Is trusting their taste in photographs, or trusting, I don't know,
is it the right voters? We need to get the right voters.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. So, so that's going to be the second half, and we are going to get started with the intro video. So I will hand over to my past self to do that, and we'll see you again in a few minutes, and I'm going to go and check on my chocolate.
It sounds good.
All right. Yeah. What's up, guys? It's Tom from LSU Photosoc again here, and today I'm going to be running through how we took some of the photos for our chocolate live stream on Easter Monday. So, we've done a couple of these tutorial videos before as introductions to our live streams. Today is going to be very, very, very simple, and it's just going to involve getting some chocolate. Doesn't really matter what kind. I am using mini eggs and lint balls, both wrapped and unwrapped. And what we're going to do is find a clean surface to take a picture of them on. So I'm obviously using my studio that we've got set up here, but you don't need to use that. You can use a plate. White plate is a great background surface, just as a clean background. But you can also add something like a wood background or whatever your kitchen top is. And you can also try something like a table or another surface if you have one. What we're going to do is we're going to grab our items then and pop them down on our surface and try and add some lighting from either above or from one side. Now, I'm obviously using a photography studio light with a single bulb in it here, but you can also use a torch, you can use your phone torch, it doesn't really matter. And we're going to hover around it, try and take some photos from above generally. Try and go a bit further away so that you can get a straight down view of your chocolate, and then you can use a DSLR or something like a phone to get photos. Here I use my DSLR because that's what was the highest quality option I had available. These photos are now uploaded on the website, so if you want to go and download them, please use as example images, please do. The link to that will be down in the description. We're now going to go ahead and take our high-speed live photos, and we can then combine the two into some editing as a bit of an example. And yeah, I shall hand back over to live. Oh, there we go. We've got ourselves slightly unaware because that was quite a short video this week. But yeah. So I've just picked up my chocolate. Here we go. It does smell fantastic.
Yeah, I've had mine under tin foil, so I'm saving myself, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. So we've got a few options for today. What kind of stuff have you got with you, Sam, for us to experiment with?
So I've got my studio set up similar to last week, and yeah, you can see it if it's on screen. And also got to play around with. I've got some bits of glass that used to be part of a fish tank, which I was doing some sort of like liquid photography. And then when I didn't need the fish tank anymore, I took it apart, but I kept the pieces of glass. And me got these fantastic, and they're optically pretty good. So my thinking was, I've got a couple of clear ones. These are the best ones without too much silicone on them. But I've also got this, which is like black mirror almost glass, which is fantastic for getting sort of some. You can get some great sort of reflections and things.
Interesting.
It does do a slight double bounce, if you know what that means. So you sort of get two reflections a little bit, but it's not terrible. So I've got that as an option.
Oh, okay.
What I was thinking with the glass, so if I've got my camera, I can easily put, with the camera, I could easily put a piece of glass over it, as so to protect it, and then I can sort of drip chocolate down onto it, and I think that might be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think that would be really interesting, actually. Yeah.
And
that's a really good shout. Yeah, I've got I've got a whole load of different stuff. So I've got some plates and things. What I was thinking of doing is taking something like a plate, lining the rim with chocolate, and then turning it and seeing how it drips, and try and capture the drips coming down off of it.
The drips going toward the middle, you mean? Or off the side?
No, it's off the side, and then catch it with another plate underneath. Also, doing a pattern on the top, and then just turning the whole thing upside down and seeing what happens with that. Yeah. Other things, I've got some clear bowls. So I was thinking about maybe dripping something down the outside, get some drips going on with that.
Yeah.
I couldn't find any glass like you have, so we're gonna have to rely on yours for the glass stuff. But we have some other things. So I've got some. Also got some glass bowls which we can use.
All right.
So if I come up with any ideas relating to glass bowls, then we can do that as well.
Cool.
So yeah, do you fancy starting, or shall I start? Who wants to run first?
I've not got any. I've seen you've got some beautiful subject photos. So the idea generally with this is going to have a subject. We're going to be combining photos to create one image, and Tom's already got some fantastic subject images. And then we can later in Photoshop we can then take those subjects out of those photos and then place them into a sort of more abstract photo. And so we're sort of creating sort of food advertising shot, as it were. So we should get a really nice mix of sort of studio quality subject photography, and also the abstract backgrounds, which will be crazy. And that's what we're doing, the abstract stuff now, because it's going to be, I think, quite fun to watch us muddle through on that and get all covered in chocolate, and who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to try to be very careful not to ruin our backdrop here, because I can't just take it to a dry cleaners to get it cleaned, because obviously nobody's open. So
of course,
so yeah, we'll get, if anybody else tries this, do be careful, because it could get very messy.
What's going to happen is you're going to get drips and chocolate on a camera and maybe break it. That's the worst. So just avoid that.
Yeah, that'll be fine. They're pretty resilient things. They'll be okay.
Just
so
strip it off while doing a lens change. You're right.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So quickly before we get started with taking photos, then I will show everybody where they can download the photos that they saw in the example video today. So I pull up this web page on stream. If you go to the link that is scrolling past below here, about now, then you can go and download the photos that we took earlier, as well as the photos for previous weeks. And you can also access Photopia, which is a great online editor that we've been using over the last few weeks, which looks like this. And then you can also access Photoshop, which is the kind of industry standard for photo editing. And we might end up using both of those today. We're also going to be using Adobe Lightroom, because that allows us to plug in our cameras to our computers and directly pull the photos as we take them. So you guys can all see exactly what we're doing, just like we did last week. So, yeah. Shall I flip a coin or something?
Well, I think what I might just do is I might start really simple. I might just start taking some photos of. So I've got chocolate in the bowl right here.
Yeah.
Just do some photos of that in the bowl and get some, some fantastic sort of dripping things, and just to start, just get into it, and then then you can take over once you've got a setup together.
Yeah.
Really.
Do you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of we talked about a balloon whisk, didn't we? I shall go grab my balloon whisk, because that will be very, very interesting to play around with. But yeah, by all means, yeah, take it away if you want to start.
Me, I will start. So here we go. So set up similar to last week. So with this lovely view, you can get an idea of what I'm doing. So
yeah,
same sort of ritual. I'm trying to do as simple as possible, something that you can also do at home. So I've just got a table, a sheet of paper, and a desk lamp. That's all it is now. My camera's on a tripod, just make things a bit easier. And that's all you need. That's what we did last week. That's all we had really, and we got those fantastic photos on my watch. So let's just start, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
so we've got Sam's lovely, great big window up here, ready to go, so we can see all of his photos previewed as we take them. And while you begin that, I'm going to go grab my balloon whisk, because that's going to be fun. So I shall be right back. I will leave you in Sam's capable hands.
Okay, so here we are. I've got, I'm just going to set up briefly. The thing is, when you start any sort of shoot, you're gonna start off with not very good photos, but the point is you're going to get to some really good photos. So just to start off with, very basic, contrast really. Let's see what we got. Now, that should come through and you should see, there we go. Okay, so we're starting out a very, very basic, not particularly interesting photo. I'm choosing a manual, which means I get full control over all my settings. And since I'm lit, I have a little bit of sun going on, but I'm mainly lit by this single light, so I can stay in manual settings, and then when things change, I'll adapt to them, and I don't have to adapt to the lighting as it goes. So right there, we've got a very basic image. Looks a bit. I'm on the widest I've got. Now I could, if I go further back, I can get a similar. Sort of framing almost, but I've also got the benefit of sort of a nice expression. So now I'm further back, and you can see what that looks like here. So obviously it's more of the photo. However, if you zoom in now, back to a similar sort of framing that we had before, and get a photo, we then get a much nicer looking framing. So if I jump between that one and the first one, you can see how we already, just by zooming in, we've gone from a photo where even if you look there on the side, we're getting stuff that's not even past the backdrop in. But where we are now, we've instantly...
You managed to fit it within the backdrop.
I
Awesome.
fitted in the backdrop by moving back and going more telly. So
Awesome. Yeah.
and in the end, yeah, that was two things. We got an image better. Now we've got this brim. I don't think that's going to look very nice. I think what I might go for is I might raise my tripod up and get an angle sort of up here somewhere, a similar distance away, because I want that compressed sort of zoomed in look that it gives me. But I want to get that brim out of the way. So let's do a bit of faffing around with the tripod for a minute. And these tripods go up to about, standard average eye line. And, that's going to give you loads. So I'll preview my angle I'm going to get. That's a bit high, actually. I'm going to go here. And you can still see it. Fantastic. So I'm still far away-ish. Not super close anymore, so we're still going to get that compression. But now, I can share that with you. There we go. So now you can see how we've the brim is out of the way. Now we've got a reflection there. So in the back of the image here, I can see a reflection. I'm trying to work out where it's coming from.
It looks like a window frame or something like that, maybe.
That is a reflection from. So the sun's coming through and it's lighting up the wall over here.
Ah.
And then that reflection there is all the things that are lit up in that wall. So that's when cursor's useful. I'm try and find something to fix this. I've got a piece of black foam, and so if I use that, I can actually use my selfie pocket in some ways, but you can see how. Yeah. So there's obviously on the screen the photo with reflection, and if I bring this piece of foam just in like that. 3, 2, 1, bing, and then we've lost the reflection.
There we go, perfect.
Slightly annoying thing I've got to do is I've got to work out a way of holding that potentially. Maybe just that would do. Or is it a return of the
return of the balancing act from last week?
Yeah, the joys of doing a shoot with no gear. Okay, that's not actually helped. Hasn't helped. It's all fun, this.
I know, and what makes this worse is that we've got a time limit because we're battling against the slowly cooling chocolate. Now, obviously, as the chocolate begins to cool, it will get more viscous, and we might be able to get some different effects with it. But ideally, we want to try and work with it when it's quite liquid, don't we?
Yeah. So,
as you can see in the corner, I'm currently sat here stirring all of my chocolate to keep it nice and warm.
So that gets me a great shot. However, you can't see a thing that's going on anymore. So I'm going to just be going in with that manually. Hopefully, is there a better way I can do this? Just give me 2 seconds.
Go. Got some nice chocolate going on here. Anybody in chat can see that. Nice white chocolate going. There we go. That's a good colour. And it's nice and warm as well.
That's what's throwing me. Sorry, I was trying to sort of like work out in reflection where I am and everything, but because the bowl's curved, it was like opposite. So
yeah, it will be. Yeah.
I was in the wrong area for like 5 minutes. Okay, so I can't now. We'll just have to. Well, we'll go with that for now, and then when we get to the final image, when we get closer with other things, we'll see what we're working with. Now, this landscape framing isn't working terribly well for my current setup, so I'm actually going to go to a portrait. Now, fortunately, it's very easy for me to do that. I just do this.
You know what? I find that most frequently, I actually take more portrait photos than I do landscape photos.
Yeah, it's
I don't know whether that's a product of the fact that most of my photography goes on Instagram, but yeah, it's interesting.
and hopefully, because yes, okay, right. So
there we go. There we go.
we can, yeah, it's worked. However, I've got a slight problem because now it's all wrong for you to see.
Oh, don't worry. We can see the most of it.
Okay, we'll roll with it then. So yeah, I've got better framing. That's the point. I actually move a little bit closer again and frame it down. Refocus. Right, I'm going to have a look at my settings now. So I'm currently at my lowest ISO. I'm going to bring that up a little bit just so I can shoot a bit faster for you guys. So I brought my ISO. Sorry, so I brought my ISO up a little bit, which means that I can have a faster shutter speed, and I don't have to use a timer. Now, if you had more time, I would advise going for the best settings you can. If you've got a tripod as well, go for the best settings you can, and then using a short 2-second delay timer. That means you can then use longer shutter speeds. But just to make things quicker, I'm going to go faster. So I'm at ISO 400, 125th of a second, f7.1, and we get this.
Drum roll.
We're still a bit underexposed, so I'm going to draw my aperture down a little bit, and also my shutter speed. So I'm now at 100 at 5.6, and we should get a lot more light in the frame. Not as much as I thought, though. Okay. I don't want to ruin it with my ISO, though. Let's go to 50th of a second. At a slightly higher ISO. We're getting something that's a bit horrible. I know what's the problem. So the white balance is the problem. So you see how it looks a bit sort of orangey, yellowy.
Yeah.
The issue there is my white balance, and I've got it set to flash still because that's the last thing I was doing. So if we go to, I've got a button here I press. Remember it? Yep, there. I can change to. Does the best one with this? Obviously, you can just leave your camera in auto mode. There we go. So now we have a little bit cool, but it's better to work with image. Right, let's get some actual photos.
We can also edit these in whatever program afterwards and tweak the color, even if it's just a JPEG. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It is one of the benefits of using editing.
So, getting some photos like that.
Ooh.
Extracting away from the reflection. But actually, looking at that now, see, we've still got the other side of the room to deal with. So I think I might actually drop my camera lower and then shoot past the bulb with the subject in front. Above it. So 2 more seconds. Where are we at now? A little bit more. Right, so you can see now the camera height is sort of in line with the bowl, but it means I've got a great amount of space above the bowl that I can shoot my subject. So I'm just going to use the spoon to get focus. Let's do some more shots. Now obviously, if I spent loads of time figuring out how to fix the reflection, that's wasted time now because I'm not actually going to be shooting with the bowl in the background. So.
Yeah.
Go again. Because also the bottom of the back of the bowl was looking a bit rubbish, in my opinion.
That's a nice drip that you've got going on there, though. That's a really nice shape.
It's still
like
liquid. That's so far so good.
Also, like the color gradient that you've got in the background there because of the light.
Yeah,
that's quite nice.
That's working quite nicely, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
What should we try? I want to try a darker background though. That is nice, but I think I envisage a black background for these photos.
Okay.
I've got a bit of black card that's, again, you can use anything. Use an old t-shirt, use anything for a background, doesn't matter. The point is you're getting photos. So I'm also going to try a slightly more contrasty light orientation at a lower angle. And maybe from behind. I might try if that can work. I'll try that.
Backlighting it might be quite interesting. Yeah, see what it looks like.
Right.
Frequently, when you backlight something, guys, you end up with these nice ridges around the edges of whatever you're shooting, and it can provide some quite interesting effects, especially if you're doing like portraits. You can you can have what's called a hair light, and that lights up the edge of your subject. And look at that, actually, that's giving us a really nice edge on that chocolate.
Yeah,
that I think works quite well.
I want to try and find a way of reducing the light in that background though. So I'm going to move it further away. But to do that, I need to get rid of my initial backdrop. 1 moment later.
Check that my chocolate's still okay.
We should. This has become a cooking channel stream at some point.
Well, I'm like, we've definitely had some cooking advice going on in the chat. Somebody's asking us to show them how to temper the chocolate.
Oh, fantastic.
But, somebody in the chat actually knows, which is amazing.
That's brilliant. We got some good advice. Yeah, just heat to 400, yep, slowly.
Big respect in the chat
for that's interesting. Cool.
For knowing how to temper chocolate properly. Big respect for that, because I've tried working with chocolate, but not to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to try and do now, so I've got my backdrop as far as I can do on my table. I'm actually going to bring my subject forward as far as I can, which means that when I light things, I'm not having spill from the light going onto the background. So I can bring my light forward as well to a position like this, and hopefully we can then achieve a much darker backdrop. So I'm also going to move my camera back a little bit to give us the right sort of framing, and then check my focus again. So that for now. Let's see what that looks like with that on the subject. Yeah, much cleaner, much nicer.
Looking good.
Cool. So let's go again. How are those looking?
Nice, very nice.
Okay, so what I see is we're actually missing focus a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm again on a lens that the autofocus is broken on, so it's a bit more involved. But we'll get there. Let's do that. Now, how's the light looking?
I quite like that.
I might just stop down the exposure a little bit, go for something that's a bit darker in general, because we don't need so much light right now, and it's not like I'm trying to expose the background anymore. How's that looking? Oh, we're getting somewhere, I think.
Look at that. That is really nice, that edge light. Very, very nice.
Yeah. So if I do a switcheroo, there we go. So let's have a look at those. Yeah. That's looking really nice. Let's have a this benefit of shooting tethered. So now I can see the photo really up large, which just it's not essential, but it just saves time, so I instantly know how the photo is going.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of a problem with focus going on. Now I'm shooting manual mode, but I think I'd be inclined to use because where have I taken this so far?
Mike, if you've got problems with focus, you can always stop down your aperture to increase the amount that's in focus and see what happens there.
Yeah, so right now I'm at F9. I would still be fine taking that a few stops darker just to get me better focus, I think. So I'm going to try that next, because we're also still a bit hot on these highlights. Maybe I'll try moving the light further away from the subject to reduce the light, and then also stop it down a bit, because the background, yeah. So the you can see the histogram here on the right hand side. You can see how up here.
Yes.
You can see the distribution. The histogram is just a distribution of the pixels and how bright they are in the image. So you can see we've got a large peak over here. Now this is the background. That's what that is. So that's a large amount of pixels that are quite dark. but we still got room to push that darker. So I'm not too worried about, because obviously we can lose the detail in the background to a certain point, but it's when we start losing detail close to the subject, then it becomes much harder to start with editing and things. So
Yeah, you're
I'm
absolutely right,
not too hesitant to push. There we go, F9 to push for a darker aperture. So I might go to F11 maybe. Let's see how that goes. That one. F11. Where's my mark? I'm going to move the light a bit further away. Also making sure, because you can see it when I do that, you can see it spilling off the background a bit. So we'll make sure it's not spilling off the background. I could always add a piece of card or something to help with the spill, but for now we won't do that. Just use the shape that's built onto the light.
How's your chocolate looking? Still liquid?
Well, you can see it; it's still flowing. I think it's losing a bit of its consistency, but the photos are getting looking good. It'd be interesting to see how the sort of reflectivity and things a bit change as it sort of gets a bit less liquid.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
How are they looking?
Oh, I'm liking that very much.
Now,
Very much.
it also looks in focus, which is a right bonus. Yes.
Very
Okey-doke.
nice.
So
Very,
where can
very
we
nice.
put it here? I think it's starting to lose its gloss a little bit because it's starting to cool down.
So, this might be a good opportunity. If you want to go and heat yours back up again, I can take over. We can do some on mine, and you can go and heat yours back up again. We'll tag team it.
Yeah, perfect. Over to you.
Excellent. Okay, so let's swap over to my screen then, and yeah. So I have got Lightroom open just like Sam does. We are going to swap over to the full camera so that you can see my studio here, and let's just make sure that this is okay. Yeah, that's looking quite good. I take out my spoon because what I want to try is a balloon whisk.
Ooh.
So I'm just going to get it nice and covered in a... Yeah, that is looking very nice. So let's pop that in there. And I shall move round to my photography position. Right. So, I have this large double light here from our studio equipment. So, let's start by positioning this a little bit. And I think I'm just going to start by bringing it as close as I can, just like Sam did with his desk lamp. Now obviously I'm limited in space because I'm in my room rather than in a much larger room that we would normally be using for photography and studio work. But this is quite powerful light, so let's see what it looks like with that. I'm going to leave the whisk where it is for now and get my focus right, and you guys can see what this looks like. This is actually quite a nice photo by itself. There we go. You can almost just go macro with that actually. Almost just get really, really close in here. And try a couple of those. That'll almost be better portrait as well, actually.
Let's see what those look like. There we go. But let's get back to what we were actually meant to be doing. So, let me mix up my chocolate a little bit here. It's getting quite viscous, so looking quite good though. I'm going to raise up my tripod to a little bit easier to operate height. And try and drop it into our bowl here so I don't get it all over the lovely white sheet that we've got. So, let's start with those settings and see what happens. Twisting the whisk in the bowl seems to pick up quite a lot of chocolate. Let's have a look at that. Now we're not quite in focus there, we can improve that. But I'm quite liking the light direction. We almost need a bit more chocolate on there. Let's just go back to some of the earlier ones. Maybe we should try vertically down as well. So let's try that. We'll get our autofocus turned on.
Oh, that's looking lovely.
I know, right?
Yeah, it looks really nice and glossy.
Yeah. So I'm going to just use my spoon to get plenty of chocolate onto the whisk. Get it nice and covered. And we're going to do this. Let's see what that looks like. And see, it's coming off on quite small lumps, which I think might be because it's already cooled down a lot. We're getting a nice gloss on it though. What do you think, Sam? Oh, he's gone. Okay, we'll come back to Sam's opinion later. You know what? Let's try. We'll try the spoon as well, just to have a comparison. So, let's have a look at that. Quite a nice shape that's going on there. You know what? We've got a really nice shape going on in the bowl right now with all of this chocolate dripping off. Let me show you guys what that's looking like, because it looks very nice.
Mmm. Just while that loads, I was just trying right now to reheat my chocolate with a hairdryer, which has some interesting effects, and I can't wait to use that a bit later on. But it also has the side effect of spraying some molten chocolate everywhere. So it works a bit. It's maybe not advised.
So what do you think of this, Sam? This is quite a nice dripping effect that we've got going on here.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'll be able to see it on stream in a second once you catch up.
Yeah. So I'm only seeing everything as quickly as you see everything. But then there's also another 30 seconds after this. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold this up and try and take a photo of all these drips.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
This drippiness bodes well for one of the other experiments that I wanted to try.
Yeah,
which was dripping everything off of a plate.
Just out of interest, what chocolate are you using?
So this is the cheapest chocolate in Tesco. It's dark chocolate. And I think it's like £1 a bar or something. I got big bars so I could melt a whole load.
I missed that. What was it?
£1 bar of Tesco chocolate.
Ah, fantastic.
I quite like. Look at that one. I love that. I really love that.
See, I think I should have gone because I think those. I don't know what they put in it and stuff, but I think that just is naturally more glossy. So I think mine are always going to look a little bit matte compared to yours, but that's okay.
Yeah. We're having some suggestions from the audience as well, which is an interesting one. So, we'll briefly talk about this because it's being mentioned by the audience. Somebody's suggesting using quite a low aperture lens so we can get lots and lots and lots of out of focus areas with the balloon whisk.
Good idea.
I think that is a great idea. So I'm going to quickly come over to my photography bag over here, which is just handily out of shot.
You've got like a 50 f1.8. That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it?
We even have a 2.8 70 to 200, but I think that's going to be overkill for this one. So I'm just going to swap out my lenses.
I'm thinking because I've got a 35-1.8, but I've also got a close-up filter, so that means it's sort of like a magnifying glass for the lens, basically. But I know I've been able to get some really good bokeh. So bokeh is the blurry parts of the image. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's that sort of out of focus, dreamy texture to a lot of photos. And when I use my shirt right here, where is it? Here it is. So this is a. You can see that. This is a close-up filter. It's essentially literally just a sort of magnifying glass that goes in the front of the lens. But it means that you lose your infinity focus on the lens. But
hold it to right a little bit, Sam, to get it on camera on stream.
Over there.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah, so they're filters that go on top of your lens as you obviously on my lens here I've got a protective UV filter, but you can also have extra bits of glass that will give you closer focusing. So
now with that lens on I can get a bit closer, but also I can get fantastic out of focus areas.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try that now. I think what do you reckon? Do I get a balloon whisk as well and try the same sort of things you're doing, or just go for close up on my spoon?
Up to you, man. I'm like, we can have a look at what our f1.8 is doing to these photos.
Yeah.
Ooh, now that is creamy. I like that a lot. That works really, really well. Thank you for the suggestion in chat for that. That looks awesome. Let's try the same photo again. See what happens as I turn the whisk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, I guess with that lens, you're now a little bit overexposed potentially, but it's fantastic either way.
Yeah, we were a little bit overexposed, but that's correctable afterwards.
Of course. Yeah.
Let's. I'm just going to see what that looks like with our.
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start just. So we've both been looking at the where the chocolate's been dribbling from. I think I'm going to start looking at where the chocolate's dribbling onto, because that seems to always look a little bit interesting.
Okay.
So I'm going to get one of my glass plates. I mean, do you want to continue in pole position for now, or do you want to flip over to me in about 2 minutes?
I can swap over to you whenever you want.
Cool. Okay, I'll just set up a little studio-looking thing then.
Very well. And we can have a look at the f1.8 pictures of the whisk. Woo! Our whisk almost went flying across the room there. Thankfully, it did not land on the backdrop. There you go.
Yes.
These are looking quite good. That is a fantastic suggestion from chat there. That is a great idea. You know what? I'm going to try and do the same thing, but with our white chocolate, which I've got sat just down by my feet here. So, let me move that out of the way. Now, do you think it'll look good if I dip the whisk into the white chocolate and have a mix? It might not do.
Yeah. I think that would do, because then you get like a marbling effect, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But you might sort of lose your consistency in your chocolate. Like, you know, you might end up with a bit of grey chocolate.
Oh, yeah. So our white chocolate is a lot more set. So I'm going to be intrigued to see what happens with this one. I'm going to move my focus a little bit so that we can... You know what? This is... Because it's more set, we're getting an amazing view down into the bowl. And for this, I'm actually going to swap to by 70 to 200 because we'll be able to get an amazing view down into the bowl.
Okay.
Here we go. Our big hefty lens. The lens is significantly larger than the camera it is attached to, which is hilarious.
Right.
Okay, let's have a compare then. What I'm going to do is raise up my tripod very high so I can get a good angle above. Just like Sam did earlier. There we go.
Okay, well, I'm about ready to take over, but you
Okay.
finish your current shot.
I shall finish my white chocolate.
Yeah. Well, don't finish it. Leave some for me.
Oh, that's a funny joke.
It's even funnier because, of course, I can't finish it. I'm miles away.
Yeah, I'm like we're nowhere near each other location-wise. Obviously, with our large lenses here, we've got to get further away because we can't focus quite as close. So I'm going to shuffle my camera backwards here. And there we go, we can get it in focus.
I need to go get something else, actually, so don't hand up just so yet.
Okay. Here you go, everybody, just so you can see what's going on. This is how close we can get with a 70 to 200 lens. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my spoon, and I'm like, it's very viscous now, and we're just going to dribble in like that. So let's set up the shot. There we go. And then we can compare. There we go. So, let's have a compare then. I've got a few options here. I quite like... See that really nice dribbling that we're getting? It almost needs to be a little bit higher up. But... some of those are quite nice. I like those. Yeah. But, we can hand back to you, Sam, if you are ready. And see what...
I'm just trying to make it so everyone can see the whole photo.
Okay.
2 seconds.
Got a whole load of options here, which is amazing. And let us know what you think in the comments, guys. If you've got any other suggestions, we're more than welcome to try them out on stream. So, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
There we go.
Can you go with me?
Yep, you ready?
I'm ready.
Cool. Okay.
Right.
Back
Now
to
you can
Sam.
see- Yeah, that's black. So what I've got now is, so this here is, you can see reflection. So this is just like, I don't know what the actual name for it is, but it's like a black glass essentially. And I got it out of a fish tank. So this is like the back wall of a fish tank, which you would then put things in front of. But it's fantastic because it gives you these really great reflections, really great studio quality reflections. But you can sort of get this effect a little bit if you just have a piece of glass, put a black something behind it, black t-shirt behind it, you can get a very similar result. So I've just got this because I held on to it because I knew it'd be really useful for this sort of thing. But it's not essential. But
No, I'm like, all of this stuff is nice to have, not needs to have, really.
Of course,
when it
yeah.
comes to this stuff.
And it gets dusty from time to time. But let's see, return of the actually yes, let's use that. Here we go. Return of the old dust awayer thing.
Ah, yes.
Cool. Okay, so as you can see, yep, got a very black background. But if I put something in the shot, it's actually lit very well. We've essentially not got much change from last time in terms of where the light is. I'm still shooting as far forward as I can do to limit the light I have to spill onto the background. So I've got chocolate. Now I need to really work out where my focus is because I think this is going to take a bit of time to reset after I do the first
yes,
run.
Definitely do a test on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. But essentially I want to get that dribble. Can you see it a little bit? You see how it sort of dribbles and curls and falls over and things?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm going to try and capture that, and also I'll get a really nice reflection of it as well. But I need to work out my focus area. So I need to. Well, how do I do that? Let's use a memory card.
Yeah, I've been using spoons to set my focus.
Right. So there we go. Memory card is now in focus. Now I'm just going to give myself put some little pieces of sellotape either side of that to sort of point out where my focus is.
Yep.
Because essentially I'm not going to be looking through the camera lens when I do these photos. I'm going to be purely looking at where it's aiming at, essentially. So obviously our plane of focus on our camera is perpendicular as a plane going out from the left. So I've just drawn a line, essentially. Well, drawn the two edges of a line. You can just see it there, two little pieces of tape. So
Yep.
I now know that I'm aiming for there. And I'm not moving anything on the camera or anything because I've got that, all the exposures set perfectly and everything. I'm just going to try and give myself a ball point of where the edge of frame is. So there, there. So essentially right in the middle. And I've got the actual contact point on the ground is quite near the bottom of the frame. So I'm going to get a lot of the falling stream above it. So I've got the chocolate here, still melted, still good. That's the tricky thing now. I'll put that there. Is that in shot?
Yeah, we can see it.
No, but in my shot in the background. No. Cool.
I totally got the wrong end of the stick there.
Okie dokie. So, right, let's do a final dust. This is it's a one shot, and then I'm going to spend 5 minutes resetting everything. So
Yeah. I'm ready to try something similar after you try that one, so we can both see what our results are.
okie dokie. So I'm going to call that pulse control. Maybe a bit less chocolate, maybe. Right. So I'm spinning it, so I'm not letting it drip. Well, I mean, this is going to be hard, I can tell. But anyway, let's give it a shot.
Oh, I can only imagine what that might look like. It looks very satisfying dribbling out.
It's not looking too bad.
Bit
I
underexposed there, but you'll be able to pull that back out. I love that straight line down the middle. That's great. I like that a lot.
Isn't it? Cool. Okay. Now I think that the issue I've got right now is the the chocolate flows really nicely when there's a really there's loads of it going down, and I was waiting to get a just a little bit, so I'd get a really interesting shapes. But actually, I think I just need to go full in, essentially. So
just go for all of it at once and see what happens, I think.
Because I was trying to avoid, I wanted to get some isolation around the actual drip. So you see on photos like this, I've got free space around all of it, essentially. Let's just bring the exposure up just a tad. Ding. So you can see I've got space around all of it. I think I have to sacrifice that, and I'll have a dribble in, but that's easy to Photoshop out, I think. So yeah, we'll get again. Do you want to flip over? Have you got?
I've got something ready to go. If you are happy to flip over,
I'll reset everything.
Okay, let us know when you are ready, and we can swap back to Sam. Cool. So, what I'm going to try and do is something a little bit less equipment dependent. So I'm going to try and do something similar, but with bowls and plates, because that's what I have access to. So, what I've done is I've got my bowl upside down on a plate like this. What I'm going to try and do is fill up this top area with chocolate so it doesn't overflow. And then I'm going to drop more chocolate on top so that we have what is almost like a round shape that has just got chocolate dripping around all sides of it. And I'm going to get the camera down nice and low so we can get a shot straight on the edge of the bowl. So we'll start with the dark chocolate again, because that is currently the most workable of mine. Here we go. So I'm just going to quickly dribble some of this onto my bowl. As you can see, that's sitting quite nicely on there, and it's not actually spreading out that much. Oh my goodness. Okay. That looks like it's ready to overflow the next time I put chocolate on it. So, just going to grab a plate and pop this off to one side over there. And pop my subject front and center here. And then I will move to my photography position. And see what we can get. So, I'm going to lower down my tripod super low down so that we can get right on the edge of it. See what we can see. And what's handy is I've already got chocolate in place, so I don't need to spend too much time focusing. I can just have a look through the viewfinder, get it focused beforehand. So, there we go. Let me get it focused up and then you guys can see what's going on. Let me bring up my tethered window. There we go. We'll select the right camera and hit the button and see what happens. So, you can see we've got our chocolate right on the top here, ready to go. All we need to do now is... Whoa, that is not what we want. Go away. Just want my navigation tool. There we go. Let's get rid of that. We don't want to tag anybody's faces in this picture. For some reason Lightroom wants me to do that. But, there we go. So, I'm going to frame up. I'm going to keep it fairly wide for this picture because we can always play around with that a little bit afterwards. I'm going to grab my spoon then, getting lots and lots and lots of chocolate on it, and Right, this is going to be a feat of synchronization.
Okay.
Right, here we go. Oh no, it's not dripping. What is this? Oh wait, here we go. Right. I'm gonna refill my spoon quickly. Here we go. There we go. That is certainly something. Let's have a compare here.
Yeah. Oh wait, it looks good in this. From what I can see, you're doing.
We've got a very low depth of field going on, which is interesting. Maybe we should try and get that a little bit deeper for next time. But quite like that. Quite like what's going on there. Now, obviously, you can see that my my bowl is now just brown. What I might try and do is flow more chocolates over the top and see if we get extra flows that might give us a little bit more interesting features. So, let's try the same again. Gonna swap to portrait so we can get the entire thing in.
Do you want to switch over to me? I'm ready to go.
1 second, I'm going to try one last thing.
Cool.
Go. Right. Last attempt. I'm actually about to run out of dark chocolate, so this is well timed. But
Cool.
let's gather up the rest of it. And here we go. Ah, that's odd. For some reason my PC is disconnected from my camera, so hey, we shall see
Okay.
what's going on there. I shall fix that whilst we get back to Sam.
Fantastic. Hello again. Cool.
So-
So I'm set up again. I've got a clean piece of glass again. Like that. And I'm just going to make sure. So obviously I reset everything, but I need to just make sure I'm back in focus. So I'm just going to use a similar thing again, just some sort of a subject at my marks that are already there. Make sure that that is still in focus as it used to be. And it's looking great. Got an interesting problem now because I actually see a load of glare in the lens. So I'm trying to work out a compromise between lighting just my subject and also lighting the background. And I thought I had a really good compromise, but it seems I'm now getting some quite annoying glare in my lens. So I'm working out what the best way to fix that would be. Can we fix it in 2 seconds? Yeah, why not? Let's try it. So if I show you what I mean, so that's the shot I'm getting through in 2 seconds time. And you probably can't see that well. But if I then do this, I don't know if you can see a difference there, can you?
No.
You can't, but I can. Actually, it probably means that it's not going to affect me on the aperture the camera's actually shooting in. So let's scrap that and let's hope it's going to be okay. Right, I'm still focusing. Everything's good. So, before going to Tom, I was saying how I'm just going to go all for it now. Let's try that. Again, it's a bit sort of trying to do one more thing than you have hands to do, really. So, okay, how am I going to do this? Similar thing to last time, probably. So I'm just going to try and get as much on the spoon as possible. Okay, we're ready to go. And you know what? Let's try and get more on there. We've already started.
Oh, interesting. We've got two things going off at the same time. I'm liking that. I'm liking that.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's have a look at those and
oh dear.
so. Well, it's taking a bit of time to come in still from the camera.
Yeah, because there's
At
quite a
one
lot.
point I was. Yeah, at one point I was also at the what's called like the buffer depth of the camera. So the camera can only take so many photos in one go, and then it offloads into the memory card.
Yeah.
So I was pretty much at the limit of photos I could take. Let's have a look at a few of them because they're looking quite good, I think.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Got some motion, but I'm a bit too far forward on the focus though. Still, it's not terrible though.
Looking pretty sweet though.
Yeah. See if I brought it back at the end. That's the second time I went in then. Okay. Cool, I'm getting motion blur. That's the thing. Yeah, so I've actually misfocused a little bit on that one, on those ones. Okay.
Just the smallest hair. Yeah.
That's the thing, because we're now into the realm of like macro photography where focus itself is hard to get right, especially if I'm not behind the camera as I take the photos. Right, well, is this, I don't know, I'm trying to guess, is this going to be a go or we stop there with these ones? Because we've got something.
I think we've got a few options there.
I mean, if they're a bit blurred, it's not horrific, because they can always go into the background and be blurred on purpose a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think I'm quite liking those though. They look good.
So I think there's something there. I'll shelve that for now. How are you going? Have you got? Because I've got another setup. I think I'm going to try and work towards. But that'll take me a few minutes. Are you nearly there with some more photos?
I think I've got an idea for something that we can try. Yeah, why not?
Cool. How many more minutes do you think we'll spend on this? Do you think we'll switch to editing in about 20 minutes, maybe?
Maybe about there, maybe a bit sooner. So yeah, we've got time for one more setup each, I reckon, and then we can swap to some editing.
Great. Let's do that then.
Cool. Okay. Then we shall swap back to me then. Hello again. There we go. So, what I'm now going to try and do is my last idea is grab some chocolate on a plate and throw a ring of chocolate around the edge and try and drip it off and see how good that looks. Now, obviously, I've been having pretty rotten luck with some of the photos I've been taking so far. So, hopefully, this works a little bit better and my camera stays connected to the computer. So, let's just scrape some of this chocolate off onto the plate. There we go. Might as well reuse it. I'm not completely sure this is going to be edible after we're finished, so...
No, it's got to be edible.
There we go. I'm going to have a lot of cleaning up to do after this. There we go. This is our chocolate pudding kind of thing that we've got going on. We could always try and drop some white chocolate onto that and see what happens, actually. That might be quite interesting. But here we go. So I've got a plate of dark chocolate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and push it all to the edge. Like this. And try and concentrate it as much as possible so that when I tip it, it all goes off in one big lump. And we shall see what it looks like. Now obviously this is a one shot as well, so I'm going to have to make sure that the camera's perfectly set up before we get started. So, let's use another kind of chocolate. I'm just going to use a mini egg to get my focus. So,
I'll throw a mini egg on there. And let's swap over here. I'm going to drop my camera down quite low again so we can get a good view of the chocolate dripping off. And just like Sam, we're going to go for a portrait photo as well because these seem to be working quite well. So, let's just see what that test photo looks like. It's a lone mini egg on a plate.
That's art, that.
It's art. Yeah. It's something. So,
It's edible.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Cadbury probably would argue that their chocolate is art.
Hopefully that'll be an April Fool's promotional thing, though. You don't know.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Okay, so I am going to stand ready with my camera. I'm just going to press the shutter one more time, make sure that we are happy that it is working. That is. I just took a picture on the wrong phone, on the wrong camera. Look at that.
Ah. You're not quite set up.
So both cameras connected to the computer, so I can use both of them for whatever photos. Let's try and take a photo through the proper. There we go. So you can see my hand just above. This chocolate is looking ready to rip. So let's make sure that we are set up on the camera. There we go. And here we go. It's going slowly. Okay. Oh, that works quite well. Oh my goodness, that's messy. Oh, what have I done? Oh no. Okay, that has made a lot of mess. But maybe, just maybe, it might look interesting.
Okay.
I'm like, alone, what is now on the plate looks very interesting. Let me just take another photo of that, because that's, that looks quite good by itself. There we go. Looks like a mountain. That mini egg is completely gone. You know what? Since we've got a second, I'm going to quickly pour some white chocolate onto the top of this and see what happens. And that will be the end of my experiment. So,
Okay.
let me reset up my view here, grab my plate back again, and I'll quickly grab some white chocolate from below the desk. This stuff is like butter now. It's very, very weird.
Yeah, I need to see what mine's turning into like. No, mine's
Okay.
still doing okay.
Right, here we go. We're going to try again. Okay.
It's definitely abstract.
It's definitely abstract, isn't it?
Oh well, there we go. Oh. Oh, there's some promising stuff there, I think. Let's have a quick review, and then we can hand back to Sam for your final thing.
Yep, I'm about ready. So
Cool.
when you want to.
Let's have a look. See. This is where we deal with camera transfer speeds. There we go. If I was using my other camera, it would be a lot faster, but currently the other camera is up there. There we go. Ooh. Interesting. Liking this. The mix of the white and dark chocolate is actually it's giving like a weird kind of mottled texture to it. Although the movement doesn't necessarily help, but yeah. We can do some I'll have some look through, and while I do that, Sam, why don't you tell us what your final idea is? Hand it over to you.
So, here's my slightly strange setup. So I've got the cameras now underneath a piece of glass. You wouldn't expect it. So my camera's now right here. I've got a piece of glass above it to essentially protect it. Just making sure the glass is clear. And then, yeah, when I shoot photos through that, we then get, obviously, a photo through the glass. But essentially it means that I can then pour things onto the camera without ruining the camera. And I've just been trying to check my focus for now. I might go a bit low. Oh, God. I want things to fall over.
Uh-oh.
I'll do this.
You end up with chocolate on your face and everything falls apart.
Hey. So right now I've got these things stacked up just to stop the glass falling off, and also gives me an idea of where my focus is. So my focus is locked in there. Just tilt the camera around a little bit, and I've also got one light to light everything. I wanted to get a bit more directional light on there, but I seem to be at the limit of what my setup can do. So I think I might just have to roll with it. That's okay. All I wanted to do essentially was to block the light that could be coming from. That could be hitting the camera, because I'm going to be using. I can do this really quickly. We'll roll with it, but maybe not. Yes, it just about works, because I'm going to be using my from the last shoot I have the spilled chocolate that I had. So I'm going to be using that and tipping it onto this piece of glass, and hopefully, as the drips come down towards the camera, we'll get some good photos.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Again, it's an experiment. We have no idea what's going to happen. Best thing is just to try it. So, but as this is a reflective piece, I know that I'm going to see the camera in it potentially. But if we do see that, we'll just have to work with it. But for now, let me just do a final check of my exposure and everything like that. Okay, we're still lit well. Yeah, that should work. So it's just going to be a try it and see what happens.
So I can see, yeah. I'm intrigued.
So I've got my blob of chocolate.
Oh,
what's going to happen?
I feel like this is the culmination. This is the culmination.
Well, yeah. the last things we were doing. So, you sure I'm on screen, by the way?
Oh, you are on screen, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. I don't want to do this again. Right, anything else I can do? I'm just going to use a hairdryer quickly to heat up the top layer, hopefully without having it go everywhere. So I can just see it starting to solidify a little bit. I'm sorry if you can't hear a thing I'm saying.
We can just about hear. Don't worry.
Because I want to get some really nice drips coming down. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's looking very liquidy. And you can see that. Right, I can't put it off any longer. Just got to go for it. Camera's still working?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, God, I hope it doesn't get too messy. Yeah, let's go for it.
Drum roll. Here we go.
And it turns out nothing happens. Okay.
Oh no! Oh no! We've lost Sam! What happened? Oh no! He's frozen, guys. All of a sudden, Sam has disappeared. Sam! What happened to you? Sam! Oh no, guys. He disappeared. What happened? We lost him. Oh, he's back.
I mean, it's looking great in the shot.
Oh dear. Right.
We're at least getting some good
Sam,
photos.
you're gonna have to
I might try and start. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no, that went wrong. I messed it up, guys. Sorry.
Sam, you're gonna have to reshare your screen when you get a minute.
Oh no, chocolates everywhere.
It's reconnected. Amazing. We're saved. We're saved. Okay. Interesting results there. Interesting.
Because nothing was happening, so I was trying to. Can you still?
We can still hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what happened there was I tried to use my finger to try and get a drip started, and then it all just flowed to that drip, and I lost control over it completely. So let's see what I can do to.
Here we go. Oh no, he's refrozen. Oh no. Okay, we've got technical difficulties, everybody. He keeps disconnecting. Sammy, you're still there.
From the stream or from me?
From Skype. Oh dear.
Shall I just continue?
Yeah, just keep going. We'll figure it out.
Okay, so... Oh, that went really badly wrong. Right, I'm going to start off by making some sort of like interruptions, I guess, in the chocolate. Hopefully that means we'll get some areas that might flow, because I think the problem was it was too flat. I was able to shift the glass over a little bit and get a oh, I've seen the...
Sorry for that, everybody. For some reason, we are having some internet issues, but we are back. Don't worry if you missed something. We're going to upload everything onto YouTube.
Yeah.
So apologies if you missed something. But yes, Sam, where were we? We were talking about glass angle and that kind of thing.
There we go. Yeah, so you can see my screen again.
Yes.
So. Yeah, as before, yeah, I just got it. You were there, you saw it. So I've got, just glass and then the camera shooting through it. I did one shot and it went a bit wrong. So I've managed to move the glass a little bit so the camera can now see completely clearly again. I've also then disturbed the surface of the chocolate so we get sort of like peaks. Actually, I think what's going to work the best, it's also a good excuse just to eat some chocolate. But what I might do is turn this over, bring it in contact with this piece of glass away from where the camera is, then bring it up and move it over to where the camera is to get my photos. Don't know if that's going to work, but I'm going to put, actually, before I screw things up again, I'm going to put some things down so I don't drip on the carpet like I did 2 seconds ago.
That's a good idea.
So there we go. We shouldn't get any more drips in bad places now. Cool. Okay, right. So, yeah, let's just try this.
I'm already going to have to wash the muslin. I've already got chocolate on the muslin. Oh, no. So, yeah.
Bleach shit.
Something like that.
Cool. Okay, I've now got a bit of dust in my chocolate now. It's not advisable. I'll wash my hands. There we go. Okay. So, as I said, right, let's just check everything's still connected and working. Test shots.
Can confirm everything is still connected and working.
Cool. And my shot just came through. Cool. Okay, right, let's go for this.
A drum roll.
When you do that, I feel like everything's going to go wrong.
Okay, sorry. I won't do it.
Right. So, is that going to work by itself? No, I'm going to bring it in contact here. if it doesn't stick too much. How does that look? It looked like it might work.
Oh, let's see. Oh, interesting. Oh, be careful, Sam, in the background. It's about to drop off. It's about to drip off the... Is it?
Where?
And it looks like it's about to drip off the glass in the background. But that
might
might just...
silicone.
Okay. Yeah, never mind. I missaw something.
Okay, well that sort of worked okay. And actually, I think the camera can still see through.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That is. Not sure how that's working.
Yeah, oh no, you can see down there. There's a little part where some chocolate is now covering the lens. That's not terrible. I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna see if I can get another shot.
Yeah, just keep trying it. Yeah.
Same technique. Let's see what happens. But maybe slightly different somehow. Oh god, no, things falling over. It's all a precarious thing. This. It's actually interesting. The shapes that I'm seeing, looking side on, are actually kind of more interesting, I think, than this crazy beneath looking shot.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
not quite what I expected, but still.
No,
yeah.
Sort of strange how it flows, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, well we're at past. I could easily do another setup. What do you think we should do?
I think we should head on to some editing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna repost out our stream because obviously we are still live. Yeah, so let's get set up for some editing then.
Cool.
So, while Sam sorts himself out, do you need to clean up a little bit, or what do you need to do?
I need 2 minutes just to put things in other places, basically.
Absolutely. Okay, so while Sam does that, I can give everybody a run through of what photo software we're going to be using to do some editing. So, here before us we have some links. So, this is what we showed you at the beginning of the stream. This is our website. You can access Photopia from it. Photopia is a free editing software, very, very, very similar to Photoshop. Highly recommended. We've tried using it quite a lot in the last few weeks, and it does a great job. And it's totally free. We can also use Photoshop. So I've got Photoshop open here, and this is industry standard. So you can get a free trial of it if you head on the link in the website there, and that link is scrolling by down here somewhere every so often. And then also we've got Lightroom, which is where we took all of our photos with our cameras connected. And interestingly enough, actually, if I press the shutter button right now, currently it's connected to the live stream webcam, so you guys can see. There you go. That's the entire room angle. Actually, looks quite good. That's not what you're here to see. So I have finished my tethered capture, so I'm going to close that, and we can have a flick through all of these photos. And we've got a lot of photos, so Sam will have an awful lot as well. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lot of editing in Lightroom, but we can also go back and forth between Lightroom and Photoshop. So let's just have a flick through and see what options we have, what kind of photos we've got. So obviously we've got our whisk photos.
I really like the end-on ones that we've got going on here. Although they really could have been done with a narrower aperture to get a bit more depth of field going. So maybe when you're trying this yourself, you can try that as well. And we've got our balloon whisk with our chocolate dripping off. Now there's a whole load of these. Can't figure out what my favourite is. I quite like this one. I really like this one. Because you've got this nice kind of dripping off multiple places. It's nice and vertical. We've got a few options for that one. That one's almost better actually. It's even sharper, that one. Very nice. So what I'm going to do in Lightroom is you can pick photos that you like. So I'm going to press P to pick those photos. And then we can sort by that later. And oh my gosh, there's a commotion happening. On Sam's camera. There's an awful lot of cleanup happening. But yeah, so we've got a whole load of balloon whisk ones. Now I think Sam's spoon pictures are going to be a bit better, so we can go to Sam for those photos. And let's have a look through some of these as well. Now I really like these drips going on here. Really, really like those. I'm going to pick that one. I really like the kind of detail that we've got going on here. And in the comments somebody suggested that we use a narrower depth of field lens, and you'll be able to see, if I flick to those photos, what the difference is. The back of this lip whisk is a lot more out of focus. We can just focus in on these exact drops. I quite like that a lot. Let's have a look. I'm going to pick that one. I like that a lot. These are good as well. Let's go with that one. Now we can flick through some more of these. Some more spoon pictures. Some more whisk pictures. I think I prefer the older ones for that one. It's a little bit clearer what's going on in the older ones. Then we've got our white chocolate, which is very hard to see on this background, so maybe we won't use the white chocolate for the white background. But we do have our long lens photos, so we've got some interesting things going on here. I like really, because the chocolate was starting to cool down at this point, so it curls very, very nicely in and out. We've got a few options for this one. I quite like the fact that we've got the spoon in shot there. Like that might make quite a nice prop like that. So let's pick that one, and then I'm also going to pick this first one because the shapes are quite nice. Then we've got our semi-successful bowl picture. This is looking quite sharp actually. That's looking quite good. I like that. What we've got going on here. Let's pick that one. So P to pick again, and we've got a little bit of blurriness there. It's moving quite quickly in that photo. Almost think let's go with that one. And then we've got a little bit more chocolate going on. Then we've got our mini egg. Let's have a flick through these and see what came out of that. That's quite nice. I quite like that one. Got a nice reflection going on this plate here, but it is a little bit blurry because of the speed at which things were happening. Let's go with this one. I quite like how vertical that is. It's very satisfying. Let's go with that one as well, and then we can quickly flick through the rest of these. Oh, it gets a bit messy. Let's go with that one, and then we've got the aftermath. So let's get that. Go through these. These are a little bit blurry, so these probably won't be as handy.
You got some good things there, though. I like the pouring out bowl. It's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I'm quite liking. Some of these are looking quite promising. Yeah. and I'm almost at the end now. Whilst Sam was doing some glass photos, I quickly took some pictures of the mottled chocolate on a plate, because I thought we could use this as a background if we needed to. So we've got some variety in terms of those. Quite like this one. Not gonna lie. Let's bring these up. They're a little bit dark because of my settings. So there we go. So those are my picked pictures then. So if I go into our attribute bar at the top here, then I can click on the flag and get up the ones that I've flagged as my favourites. And yeah, I think those are the ones that I am going to go forward with into our editing. Sam, are you ready to go through your photos that you've taken?
Yes, I'm just trying to get my photos onto that shared folder.
Of course.
That's what I'm doing right now. But oh god, something crash? No, it's okay.
Oh.
So I can just about run the streaming software and Lightroom, but that and Chrome as well is really pushing it on my little laptop.
Fair
anyway,
enough. Yep. So we can let's swap back to yours. There we go.
yeah, go to mine. Yeah, that's fine.
So
It's
what
not
have
too
you
buggy.
got?
So yeah, we see
Interesting
those
ones.
first ones. It's being slow. Yeah, I really had too much motion blur going earlier on. I think because we got this. How's that look? Not too bad. It's got a little bit of softness, but yeah, I didn't expect chocolate to move so quickly. I guess.
Yeah, I'm like, especially when it was warmer, it did really move, didn't it? Really, really move.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I really love those dark black background ones that you got. Those are very nice.
yeah, because so this was an earlier one before I probably was blanking off the background. I just want to see how far editing I can take this to bring that background. So you see the background is quite light in some areas. I want to see if just in editing I can get that back. Just do a quick look. See, actually I can take that quite far.
I think you can, yeah. I love that gloss. That gloss is very, very nice. Really, really nice.
Because this sort of works with the. So this has actually got motion blur in it. This pour, but it works all right with the with the sort of subject there, as it's all coming together as one sort of thing. So that's not terrible. But I know I had some better set up backgrounds. So let's go forward a little bit and try and find some of those. Because I'm trying to. There we go. So we see a change there. That's where I went from. I just changed the light position, and then I was then not spilling light onto the background. So if I then, knowing how far I could take that past photo, I can take one with a much better setup even further. And then I did it again. Look, from there to there, we then get darker even still. So if I've got some good subjects in this one, then I think they're going to be my preferred ones to go along with.
They're looking good though. We're looking really, really good.
I think that's where I ended up with. Yeah, it's annoying. I should have had warmer chocolate by this point. This is the annoying thing. I started off with perfectly warm chocolate, and then by the time I got my shoot set up perfect, it wasn't perfect.
Don't worry, I had the exact same issue.
Yeah.
Exact same
Really?
issue.
Really, I needed 2 bowls of chocolate on side.
Yeah, what we almost wanted to do is do this in a kitchen.
Yeah, that might be hard to do.
Yeah, I'm like, we could do it both live, and one person could be heating up chocolate whilst the other one's taking pictures, and we wouldn't have to worry about cleanup because we could do it all in the kitchen. That would be easier, wouldn't it?
Maybe if we
Okay.
do like more of your water abstract stuff you were doing a few streams back, we do those in a bathroom even. I don't know, high speed like snappy stuff would be quite cool.
Yes, I'll move all of my my entire setup upstairs into the bathroom so that we can stream from there.
Oh yes, I forget you've got your big computers all set up and running the stream. Okay,
Yes.
so I've got this photo which looks a bit abstract. I quite like it. It's got
Ooh.
some great tones in it.
You can almost zoom in and get rid of that spoon completely and just go with that very, very slender curve.
That's a good point, actually.
I really, really like that. Just the way that those shades and everything just draw together. Very, very satisfying.
The thing I'm not liking so far, though, and this is part of the problem, because you can see there I had the windows open, so I've got natural light coming in. Then I was also lighting this from a just a desk light. So I've got two very different colour temperatures going on here.
Yeah.
I think I could probably...
Yes, I quite like that. I quite like that difference. Yeah, I really, really like that.
We could try and make it more.
Ooh.
What's the extreme?
Oh goodness. I think it definitely needs the colour. You could pump it up a little bit, yeah.
But my feeling is maybe I can turn down the saturation in some of these. So right here we've got HSL, which is always forget. It's hue saturation luminance. Thanks Lightroom. And so we have several color channels, so we can directly edit just certain color groups in the image. So if I'm looking at the blues here, if I desaturate them, we can see more on the top here. Actually, you can see how that's making a drastic change. So we go from where it was back down to desaturation, essentially. Now. So we do that on the blues, because then we've just got the browns basically, which still look pretty good. But it's not perfect because we have got just like a grey now in the chocolate. What can we do? I think I might try and change that in Photoshop actually.
Yeah,
I might do something like that. Do that so far, and then change that in Photoshop. In fact, no, I'll leave it like that. I'll do that in Photoshop. So I'm just going to do my global adjustment, as it were, my general exposure and contrast and things for now. So I'll mess around with those, see what that gets us. I might actually go to curves. So as we got up here, we got the sliders, which are exposure is just global, like the brightness of the whole image. Contrast is then how making bright parts brighter, dark parts darker.
Yeah.
And then we've got various more adjustments already. But I'm actually going to use curves. So with curves, we can easily increase contrast by doing something like this. So this, creating this little S curve, we're getting more contrast, and that's doing exactly the same thing as that contrast slider is doing. But I've got more control over it. So you can actually see, as I was talking about earlier on the histogram here, this is then just a distribution of how many light and dark pixels are in the image, and that's overlaid onto our curve slider here in Lightroom. And by modifying this line, we can then modify those curves. Because it's annoying, because I really like, we can see if I overexpose it, we can see the chocolate is there, but it's not lit very well. Then of course we've got the darkness background. So what I want to do is essentially try and sort of split those. Now it's very hard to do when you've got shades that are very close to one another, but you can. It's much easier with something like a white background or something that's lit not particularly well. You can easily see on the histogram. You can just see where those two areas are, and then you can then create a contrast essentially to then split those and create more contrast. But essentially, the pixels that are down here in the shadow of the chocolate, they are so close to the ones that are in the background that it's very hard for me to get a split and get really good separation on that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit of a compromise, whatever I do, I think.
I love the way that's looking already. I really, really like.
Yeah, I mean,
like that.
I'm aiming for a black background, but I don't know whether that's necessary even. So right now I'm just trying to see if I can split that. So I'm just linking this area down here. Is obviously where the two different parts of the image are.
Yeah.
And this is very hard. Might just lose that point actually. No, don't want to do that. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, I'm not going to get there easily, I don't think. So let's just accept that I'm not going to have a completely black background. And we'll go for... I mean...
I really
don't
like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Just,
Okay.
yeah. I'm like, it's totally up to you, but yeah.
Let's shoot with that for now. I'm just going to do my standard sort of thing. I'm going to add a bit of sharpening. And then... What else could we do? It's got good colour here, I think.
Oh wow, that's very strong. Very strong layers.
I think I might try and fix colour in when I get to Photoshop. So for now, I think that's good. Let's go back to some other images. Is that one gone? That one, yeah. So we can now see the difference in the difference of an edit.
Whilst we're looking through all of our images, try and pick one photo that we're going to try and edit against each other.
Yeah.
Now, what I think we should do is we should pick one of our own photos. So you pick one of your photos, I'll pick one of my photos. We'll both edit them, and then we can put up the LSU Photosoc Instagram and see who gets more votes.
Yeah.
That's partially because my OneDrive doesn't want to sync properly. So
okay. Do you want should we still do the abstract where we're taking the subject image and put it onto these backgrounds?
Up to you, man. If you want to try it, by all means. I might have a couple of photos that I could try that with, but I think my photos are better standalone from today.
Okay. Yeah.
I've actually got. I don't know what to choose. Ooh, I've just seen something very interesting. Okay, I've got an idea here. Okay. I've seen a killer edit that I think will win me.
Oh no, he's already in game mode.
I'm already seeing through the matrix. Oh man, yeah, I've got. But I'm loving yours though. Like, I think your raw material is interesting.
Okay.
I think the black background really helps.
Yeah, you're all on white, aren't you?
Yeah.
You can still take it though. You can bring it back in editing.
Oh yeah, well, we haven't revealed the result from last week yet.
Oh yeah. Remind me.
Allow me to load up Instagram and we can have a look. I think we can look at it on Instagram. Possibly not. But yeah. Ooh, black and white, interesting. Okay.
Well, I'm thinking of recoloring it actually, because I've got this. Because we know the color of the subject. I'm thinking of when I get to Photoshop, I simply do a recolor on the shade of chocolate, and then I can actually then bring both my light sources into the same temperature. So I'm going to try that. So I'm going to jump into Photoshop right now.
Okay, here we go.
But I'm going to do some little bit of editing, getting it looking just extra tasty.
The amount of chocolate that is sat around me now is hilarious.
I know, I put mine in the other room. It was too tempting otherwise.
I'll quickly flick over. Here you go. So I've got chocolate over here. I've got 2 plates of chocolate behind me. I've got a plate of dome of chocolate here. And there's a bowl of white chocolate on the floor. It's madness.
You're in no short supply of chocolate.
No,
is it all edible though?
I'm like,
It looks pretty good. There you go. I've just held it up to the camera for everybody to look at. I can just like smudge it over the lens. That would be a terrible way to end the stream.
No.
Although it still tastes good. Goodness knows what will happen when it sets, because I'm not going to be able to get it off of anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it might come off easier then. It might just flake off. It might just sort of as one piece.
Possibly. It's kind of a thick shell on this bowl, though. It's currently quite, it's like a thick sauce right now.
Oh. I've got... what am I doing?
What are you doing? Whilst you're figuring your way out, I'm going to show everybody what my sneaky edits to win the competition might be.
No.
So I've got this photo, which I really, really like, which is our whisk dripping chocolate. I've also got another one where I held it out sideways and all the chocolate drips down. But if I rotate the picture where all the chocolate's dripping down so that the chocolate's going sideways, I quite like the way that's looking.
That's cool. Damn it. I'm gonna win, man.
So that I think I figured out what my edit's going to be. So it's up to you, Sam, to try and do something yourself that you think can beat that.
Oh.
Oh, I've just given a stream a inception of itself.
You can see through.
Yeah.
Through to the other section.
So do you want to start with your? Have you got something that do you want to pick something, and then I can pick something and we can do a edit against each other, or how do you want to do it? Do you want to finish off your edit that you're currently doing first?
Well, I'm still lost as to what my final image is going to be. So I'm just, for the time being, I'm just working with this image.
Yeah, I'm liking that.
Shall we just give ourselves like a time by which we have to have a final image done?
Okay. Yeah,
and I don't
absolutely.
know what we end up with. You've got an idea of what you're going to shoot for. I don't yet, but
so we could
we'll
give ourselves. I'm like, we could put quite a tight limit on it. Like, I'm like, how long do you think you want? 10 minutes? 15 minutes? 10 minutes?
15?
15? 15 minutes. Okay. In which case...
Well, I don't do less than that. We do 10 if you want.
Okay.
10?
Yeah. Let's do...
Okay.
Let me get that...
Do it on the stream.
Yeah, I'll get a countdown timer up. Okay, so we have 10 minutes on the clock.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Cool.
10 minutes to go.
Right.
We'll start with your screen. Do you want me to start with your screen or start with my screen?
Start with mine.
Okay.
Just say when you switch over. What the hell am I going to do? Someone in the comments, help. Help, I've got to beat Tom. Right.
The comments can't help you now. Or maybe they can, I don't know. They're not 10 minutes out of sync, so yeah. Okay.
I've got to start early. I've got to start praying to the comments now, and then when I need them.
Maybe they'll be benevolent. The thing is that our Facebook comments the same as Instagram comments, you know. Our Instagram comments going to be more harsh.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, for now, I'm going to try my colorizing idea. It does mean I've got to try and find the right tone. I guess I can just turn it on and off and see how it's changing. Does it still look like chocolate? This is weird.
Is that going to be the test, though? Is that going to be the test? Does it still look like chocolate at the end?
Yeah.
I don't think we need to put that limit on ourselves. To be honest, I don't think that's the pressure we need.
Oh, this is weird. This is a hard thing to try and compare. I don't think have I made that image better?
That is the other question that you always ask yourself. Is this actually better now?
I've done anything well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not going to work. Let's get rid of that.
Okay, let's 7 minutes. So what? 8 minutes left. Right, I'm going to try and do
7 minutes 49 seconds.
I'm going to try and just get rid of this. Well, what I can do is I can do. So here we go. If we go select color range, I can then go in and I can try and select the reflections that I wanted to change to be a different color. If anyone remembers what I was originally trying to do.
What you were on about before. Ooh. I've managed to make my chocolate look like oil.
Wow.
Yeah. Not sure how I managed to do that. Might be a vibrance thing.
So if I've got that for now, so I've now done a selection that's only on the highlight I wanted to attack. I can now do and I can lay a copy of my baseline layer, then I'm going to refine the selection. If it's going to give me the chance. Things are in different places. What's going on? Right, essentials. Right, so I'll score a select, transform, select, transform selection, yeah?
There's a lot of tussling going on here. What am I doing?
I'm looking for the where you can blur the edges of a selection.
Ah! Leave your selection tool up and then right click and go feather.
Is that the new way of doing it?
I'm helping the enemy. What am I doing?
You're a noble soldier. Select a mask. That's the pane I'm looking for.
Ah, select a mask. Ah.
There we go. Right. Now I can feather it. Because essentially I'm going to make an edit onto just that area of the reflection I wanted to change. I can now, feather it, but I'm also going to shift the edge outwards, because always when you feather it, you seem to bring in parts you didn't want. So now I've done that, we now have a different selection. I can then just click here on the make a mask out of it, basically. Add layer mask button. Ching, and obviously nothing changes. But if I then, on my hue and saturation, if I create that change it into a clipping mask. So a clipping mask means it's only affecting that layer.
Yeah.
And you can see there, we've changed the colour of that in a strange way. This may be a terrible idea.
Interesting mask here. So I'm going to swap over to mine, just to update everybody with what I am doing. So I'm just going to take a snapshot here and rewind to our original picture. So this is our original picture. What I've been doing is playing around with the tone curve. So you can see what I've changed this to over here. I've made my whites even brighter. So if I turn it on and off, you can see that we've made our whites really bright, and we've brought out all of the little details in the contours of our chocolate. Now, I'm not completely sure about this yet. This is just kind of a test picture before I go on to the other one that I really like the look of. We can have a look at what Vibrance does, and it doesn't really do anything because we've got very, very little colour in this picture. Now obviously if we make it black, this is what I was talking about earlier. It looks like oil. But I think we're gonna leave it there for now, and see. Yeah, so exposure is not gonna help us, I don't think. Maybe putting it up a little bit might do. Actually, that works quite well. Oh, okay. Right, so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to use a feature that we haven't covered in Lightroom, which is copying settings. So I'm going to go over to the far left-hand corner, and this will bring up a copy settings dialog. And you can check all kinds of different options. And I'm going to come in and select my basic tone, which is this over here. Then I'm also going to select my my curves, which is what I've been editing down a little bit lower down. So tone curve, and I'm going to select texture and clarity as well because I've been playing around with those a little bit. And I'm going to copy my transform. So I use the transform.
Oh my god, we've
tool
got 3 minutes left
to rotate it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Right. Okay.
I'm nowhere near a final photo.
Okay. Should we give ourselves an extension? We don't have to.
Let's do 5 more minutes. Let's say that's 15 minutes.
Okay. We're gonna.
Well, I've got an idea now. I've got an idea of a photo. I just need to make it work.
Right. Okay. We're gonna add. Let's make it 7 minutes 32 seconds. Go. Okay.
Cool.
We are cheating our own test, but if we both use the time, then I guess that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my crop in here, so that we've got a Instagrammable format. And you see what I've done is that I've rotated my whisk so that we've got this funky sideways dripping going on. Now it's not quite straight, so I'm going to scroll down to my transform and just play around with moving that up and down. So I can use the up and down arrows to do that. And just rotate it a little bit more because I want those drips to be horizontal ideally. What we can do is we can grab our guides and draw a horizontal guide onto the drip like this, and Lightroom will just magically warp it slightly so that they're both horizontal. There we go. So that will do nicely. Ooh, we don't want that. We want a X offset. I'm gonna so I can move it back and forth a little bit. So I'm gonna move it just a little bit more into the middle of the picture, and then we're gonna come back up and do some tone curve work. So this is what our tone curve looks without, and obviously you can see the edge of the picture now. But if I reapply it, it disappears because we've done some matting on the whites. If I start to play around with that, then it will come back again. But there's about our limit. Now, I can start playing around with this a lot. What I think works quite well is if a lot of the areas that are white are silvery. So you see our whisk at the top here. If I put that up to as it is normally, then we're going to get a lot of the detail disappearing because it's quite light. But if I bring this down a little bit, then we're going to hang on to that a little bit more, and it means you can see the shape of the whisk a little bit better. Now we've got a funky shape for the rest of this. What I've done is I've brought up the blacks a little bit, and then I've pushed down some areas of the shadows into the black area so that we're getting a lot more contrast. But it's a bit of a funky shape, and it's very dependent on the photo that I'm using, so that's where I'm leaving that. I've increased the clarity slightly, bring out those hard edges and those shiny reflections on the chocolate. Now, you can push it too far and you start to lose colour, and I think that might go a bit too far. We could try and bring it back using some saturation, but I think that might be too much. We could try and resaturate just the brown. So if I go down to the HSL and colour, then I can pick my colour by going to this small little picker here, and if I go to the brown, I can change the saturation up on that. That works quite well actually. Let me just pull that down a little bit more. What does our texture do? Texture works quite well, but I don't think I like that quite so much. I'm going to keep playing with this, and let's check in with Sam and how he's doing. Sam!
Hey, so I've stolen one of your photos from the shared file,
Okay.
I had an idea. So my computer's being very slow right now. Oh,
That's
hang on.
okay.
Sorry,
I've gone to our double
sorry.
cameras. It's fine.
There you go.
There we go.
Files. No. There we go. So I've got one of your photos from the shared folder. 3 and a bit minutes. My laptop's just not working.
Oh no! Don't tell me you're not going to be able to do it because your laptop's going to melt.
Oh my god! Literally, I move stuff, then it jumps back to where it was.
Oh no!
Let down by technology. Come on, right? Let's roll with that. Okay. So my feeling was
Ooh.
I wanted to get. I was going to try and edit out the spoon and then try and just have the Lindt chocolates supported by a pillar of chocolate.
Oh, okay.
But judging by how fast, right, is that what I wanted me to do? Right, judging by how fast my computer's running right now, this might be hard. Let's try it anyway. Oh my god, 2 minutes 40. Let's see if we can do this. Right, selection. Let's select with a focus.
Speed editing with Sam. Here we go.
So he did a fantastic job at doing these on a green background, which means hopefully I can key this out.
Hopefully.
Right.
Depends how good a job I did.
It wasn't perfect. So, right, that's pretty. We'll roll with that. Right, now we have a thing. We can then go in for a mask. That's done the opposite of what it should have done. We can then go motion controller there. There we go. Oh, it's not perfect, but we have to. What else can we do?
Yeah, I'm like.
Essentially, I've now just green screened. Oh my god, you can see how weird it's being.
Yeah.
I've green screened in the subject.
What you can do is you could change the color so that you desaturate green in that image.
Oh, what a fantastic idea! Right,
have a little bit of less of a green shadow around things, because it is a common issue with green screens. Is it?
If 1 minute 20, what effect layer do you think I should use?
Oh no, apply it on the green channel and desaturate would be my guess, but either that or do a gradient map on the entire layer with the lint balls and just make it red and black, because that's a red and black ball, right? So do a gradient map. That's what I'd do.
Colorize it, you mean?
No, gradient map. I'm like, you could colorize it.
Teach me.
I think you taught me gradient maps.
Yeah, but I always forget stuff. Right.
So gradient map near the bottom.
Oh yes, right. Perfect.
Hit that. Make a gradient. Currently it's green. That's going to be rubbish. Make the lightest part red.
This is not happening. I've got 20 seconds. Right.
Oh no. Well, let me check my timer. Oh, okay, we've got 18 seconds.
Broken now. Nothing's happening anymore.
Okay.
My computer's frozen. No.
It's melted just like the chocolate has. I feel like it was an unfair challenge, considering that I'm sitting here with a massive desktop and you're using a MacBook. Oh dear.
What do you reckon?
I think I want to see how this ends. So I think we should see
Push on through and see
your finished result, because I want to see it. I will stop now. I will stop my edit now.
Okay. I mean, honestly, I'm clicking stuff and nothing's happening. So I'm just, unless there's a dialogue box that's come up. Oh, there is. Oh, hang on. What's happened?
Oh no.
There was a dialogue box that came up that I didn't see in my other monitor. That was the problem. Okay, we're back.
Back? Hey, he's back. There we go.
Well, you can guide me through then. So you think I should do...
Okay, so this is a...
around, isn't it?
I'll quickly explain for the viewers. Our gradient map is a layer in Photoshop that effectively takes the lightest parts of your layer and the darkest parts of your layer and assigns them colours. So you can change your lightest parts of the picture to be red, your darkest parts to be black, and play around with different colours. We used one on the first stream with the abstract oil and water to get rid of chromatic aberration, which is a bit of a weird application for it, but it worked quite well. I'm now wondering how well that's going to work, Sam.
The problem is the really bright colours are obviously white.
Yes.
So
yeah, it is a bit of a challenge, that one, actually. I might have misdirected you there.
not terrible though. I'm getting there.
It's hard. That one's hard.
You know what I'm going to do? Let's get rid of that. Let's just
Maybe just do it the way you thought.
Well, I don't know what I thought. I'm just going to go into my layer, my mask. Do I make a new one? Right. I'm just going to save that layer mask on a separate layer for now. I'm going to try and do my color range selection again. See if I can make things better. Actually, that might make things okay. And do another layer mask. Of course, it's backwards, so we go Control I, Command I. Amazing. But let's roll with it, because what else am I going to do? Okay.
Well, you could do a hue saturation and just selectively desaturate the ends of those wrappers.
I think I might just go with a brush. So I've got my obviously. So this is my mask for my green, which I can actually change here. So I can go in the brush now and perfect it a little bit. So what I'm doing now is I've pressed Alt and then I've clicked on my layer, which means I can then go in and directly edit the mask that's created. And obviously it's pretty much there. We've got some fantastic parts on especially these parts, the hardest parts to get to correct. But
yeah,
I've just got to fix it a little bit manually, especially on the black one here. Bear with.
yeah.
If I press
always...
X, I then can jump into my second brush, which is my black brush, which is obviously doing the blocking. And I can actually then pick up some of the texture that came in the background. And I think once I've done a pass of this is as good as that's going to get, really. For now, or for this edit. I'm on borrowed time already. But my computer did, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to spend more time on this than you ever on yours.
Yeah, I'm like, to be fair, I am editing just in Lightroom on mine.
Okay. Yeah, I guess a bit more time here. You chose the efficient option, essentially.
Yeah. This is the thing, it's like, the edits that I chose to do are able to be done in Lightroom, whereas what you wanted to do...
I didn't have any good ideas. Oh god, this could take an age. Oh, that's good enough, isn't it? Come on, it's a quick edit. Come on. Get it done. Get it done. Right, okay, that's going to be it.
Edit.
Let's see what that looks.
Done. I just realised that I can put myself above you on this screen. There we go. Use our screen real estate better. There we go. I can look.
Hey, pretty good idea. Right. Well, I think it's safe. Oh no, it moved again. What's going on? I think it's safe to say you're going to win that. I did not choose a great edit to do.
I think the black and white one you had was really good. Like not the black and white one, the really high contrast one that you were working on before, like in Lightroom. Okay. I think that was a really good one.
Try and recap some of that. Try and do that sort of edit. So I'm back on curves, but in Lightroom this time. To do a similar edit to
Bit in
this.
Photoshop, you mean? Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Right, I'm actually gonna push my luck here and just quickly take out the black Lindor, because I don't think it's adding anything to the photo.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And then do something like this, maybe. It's not great. I'm not very proud of it. Oh, it looks a bit terrible. Right, I'm going to just finish off that. I'm going to then add a little drop shadow. It works. So I've just double clicked on the layer and maybe it showed up in my other bit. Yes, it has.
Hey, there you go.
And I'm just going to quickly add a drop shadow wherever that's gone. And bottom. And if we click preview, there we go. That is huge.
Oh no, my camera's run out of battery. Oh dear.
No. Well, it was. We have gone well over time.
Oh, it's okay.
Expecting.
We'll get it back. We've got backup batteries. There we go.
Okay. I've ended up with something really not great. But what the hell, it's done. And now I'm just going to finish in with a little crop. See if we can rescue this with some composition.
It's always the last resort. Or, you know, making it black and white. That's always a good option as well.
I might have to go there. Yeah, that's not a great image. This whole time limit. Well, we're learning what goes well in that. If you need to do a what you call it? If you've got to do a quick edit challenge against someone, we're now working out what you need to do to win that. Yeah. Is that my photo? I'm just going to quickly add another yeah, because last time you're in Photoshop and you did all right, you won. So I thought I was. Yeah, but I think we're there. We sort of did half an hour of editing last time, did we? Yeah, I'm just going to add a quick vignette over the whole of this thing, and that's my final image. That's allowed. Is that allowed by the judges? No, I'm not. You should. Maybe. It's just the lighting looks weird on it. I don't know how to fix that. Hang on, I'm just going to try for 1 second. I'm going to give this its own curves layer. We'll see if that's going to make things. Like that. You can see what I'm doing right now. I don't think that's helping. But that didn't. So I think the light is there. I'm actually gonna, again, use my borrowed time and try and figure out work on the color balance a little bit. Because if I make that a bit temperature, is that actually doing the thing? Working slowly. Is that doing anything? I think it's just taking a decade to happen, but yes, that is doing something. Yeah, that's all right. That's possible. I'm not quite so embarrassed to have my nose touch that photo anymore. No, it's alright. Don't feel sorry for me. Yeah, you know what? I'm not. Yes, that makes me feel loads. No, it doesn't. Well, I went for a slightly strange idea of, oh, what? See, look, can you see what it's doing right now? It's just, it keeps, I could put it back. And it doesn't always stay there. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop touching it because that's obviously not helpful. But I don't know, I'm thinking now actually, looking far away at it, if that's small in an Instagram post, who knows? Well, yeah, you just get to that. Yeah. Well, I've got my phone image and I've saved it, so. Yeah, show me up, show me up. That's really nice. Yeah, it's fantastic, actually. It's all about potential, isn't it? It's Lightroom has a limit to its potential, but it's also got a fantastic speed in the short term. So it all depends on how long we give ourselves for these edits. Because I think, yeah, if we give ourselves 10 minutes, that's really pushing it from what I thought I could get done in Photoshop. But in Lightroom, yeah, you can do simpler edits much better. Oh, that's hard, isn't it? Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah. Not much really.
Just put it on your wall. Also nice. Oh, if only you'd left it in that horizontal position, you'd get like a sculpture version of your fantastic photo. Photosoc does sculpture. Mine's in the other room, but yeah, I need to take. At least you used. Yeah. At least you. Is it still? Oh, it's not completely solid yet. At least you used plates and bowls and things that were clean. I'm not sure if I'll be able to go near my chocolate. It's white though, so I think it might bleach out, but hey. Weird. Yeah. Cool. Yep. Thank Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, and happy Easter, I guess. If we didn't forget it. Yeah. Bye. Yay.
Stole my heart right away that night under the stars above the sky. I'm addicted to you tonight.
Hold on, my things. Can you hear me? Cool, okay. I just switched my headphones off. Oh. Right, I'm going to stop OBS. OBS.